Hey there, everybody. Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another concert review from a show from last week, the 3rd of March at the Chance in Poughkeepsie, New York. Overkill and Prong. We've got in the co-captain's chair. We're all at the show together. Mr. Chris Allo, Mr. Craig Kaminski. What's up, gentlemen?
Hey,
What's going on, boys?
Good to see Craig coming up to the show all the way from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, 3-hour drive. It was great. I was really happy to come up and get a chance to see the Chance since you guys have mentioned it so many times. Plus, I got to not only hang out with you guys, but I got to meet Ryan Scow, Lynn Versace, and Butch Jones, and Wild Bill from Comic Book Geezers, who gifted me with some wonderful fine art. So it was a whirlwind 24 hours for me, and a lot of fun.
So what was your impression of the Chance in general, now that you've heard so much about it and you got to spend a few hours in it?
I liked it. It reminded me of a club back home in Reading called the Silo, which was also 2 levels like that. And but it was a good fun venue where we were for the to watch the bands. It was, for me at least, it was loud but not deafening or anything. It would probably have been a little bit different if we would have been on the floor or anything. But no, it was good sight lines and everything for the show, and had a couple beers. I think they were reasonably priced, and no, it was a good time. It was a good venue. Parking notwithstanding for some.
Yeah, I know that was a problem. So there were 3 bands actually. So I didn't catch the first band.
Yeah, I think it was Cultist Black or something like that.
Yeah,
I did not see them either.
No, so I walked in about halfway through Prong's set. Chris, you got the set list there. I thought they were really good. I had never seen Prong before.
I don't have, let me get the Prong set list. I got the Overkill set list in front of me. Hold on a second.
And Prong have been around a million years. It's like sometimes you take for granted just how long that band's been around.
I thought they had a good sound for a 3-piece. You know, they filled it pretty well, and his vocally, Tommy Victor was pretty good.
Yeah,
no complaints.
I thought so too. And the crowd was really into them. In fact, there was a pretty good crowd at the Chance, I thought, for the show. More crowded than I thought it was going to be, although I did sense that some people filtered out after Prong set. So I think they had a lot of their own fans at the show that I think were really not all that interested in Overkill. I mean, there was still a healthy crowd for Overkill, but I thought it was a bit more crowded when Prong were on, and it kind of lightened up a little bit. You can always tell like how many people are milling about the bar area.
Yeah, I was going to say that like kind of alleyway between the bar and those couple little tables there. And yeah, you and I kind of noticed it at the same time, Pete, that it sort of went from being very packed to in between Overkill and Prong, or really during Overkill, that it was much freer. So yeah, I think definitely some people walked out.
Yeah, it was like the trench of the Death Star. You just, yes. I mean, you could just when Overkill was, or when they were about ready to start, I made my way through there to go say hello to Butch Jones, because he was holding court in his space, and it was very easy to get there. Unlike when we walked in when Prong was playing, where we had to do the sideways walk the whole time. So yeah.
Well, yeah, it looks like Prong did 9 songs.
Yeah, pretty good. I don't have any of their albums, so we're not really overly familiar with them. But I thought they sounded great. They were nice and heavy. They had some nice groove to it. And
they did the hits like Beg to Differ, Unconditional, Whose Fist Is This Anyway, Snap Your Fingers, Snap Your Neck. Yeah, they were good. They were definitely.
Most of the songs were from their Cleansing album.
Yes.
I think that's the big one. There was at least 4 or 5 songs from that one album.
Yep.
So I guess that's probably their biggest seller. And they were all good.
Yeah, it was good. And this was a Thursday night show, so obviously they wanted to get it over with a little bit earlier. I guess there was some kind of a time limit. They don't want to go over the curfew, which I think was 11 o'clock. So Overkill came on about 9:15, I think it was. They were supposed to go on at 9, came on at 9:15. Really rough sound to start off things with. I mean, the first song was a little rough. I thought their sound throughout the night was not great. I've heard them sound much better. But I mean, performance wise, really good. I think they played most of the big songs that you'd want to hear for the most part. dipping back into the old days, playing some stuff, some recent stuff. Would have liked to have heard a couple more tracks from the most recent album, which I think they played like 2, maybe 3. Not the ones I wanted to hear, but overall, I mean, I thought it was really good. Blitz sounds great. He's still a great front man. At one point when they were playing, God, what song? Well, I think In Union We Stand. I turned to Chris and I'm like, you know what? I don't know if Bobby's vocal style now fits some of those earlier, more anthemic, more melodic vocals, because he doesn't really sing like that anymore. And so when he goes to sing some of those songs in the first like 2 or 3 albums that have more of that kind of real melodic style, I'm not so sure that he's suited for that anymore.
Yeah. I would have liked to hear some more old stuff, to be honest. The thing that really surprised me was like, so many of the bands from the same era as Overkill, Slayer and Anthrax and Megadeth and Testament, Exodus, they always seem to focus on their, bigger albums from the 80s, like Slayer. You go see Slayer and, most of the set's going to be from the first 5 albums. You go see Megadeth and Anthrax and similar kind of thing. Overkill, I guess if you're a huge Overkill fan and you have all the records, you would really enjoy the show because looking at the list, they did 18 songs from 15 different albums.
Yeah.
So that's a huge, whereas like myself, I would have liked to hear more from Taking Over and, Feel the Fire and, the earlier days, but they definitely didn't do that. It was a sprinkling of from every, of everything.
Yeah. Horoscope was great.
Yes.
And it seemed like they've been changing up the set list every night, because I know we were looking at the set list from the night before and it was a little bit different than what we were seeing. There were what, 3 or 4 songs, I think, that they changed around from night.
Right. Well, the show before actually was in November. That was the show that got pushed back quite a few times.
Oh, that's right. So this was the first show.
So this was the first night of the actual tour.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. They did change it up from the gig in November.
Yeah, I think set list FM says there was at least a couple of songs that it was the first time that they'd been played since 2013 or 2014 or something.
Right, like they
old,
did.
Old School was one, and then I don't know what the other
Old School was one. It said first performance since 2013, and Long Time Dying, it says first performance since 2014. Okay. But for me, for both of those, because I really haven't kept up with Overkill as much in recent years. I'm like, oh, okay, I would have rather heard Hammerhead, but but that's me.
Yeah,
I was surprised just at how high pitched voice he is. While singing. I've never seen Overkill live either. In addition to Prong, and I was just surprised, especially at Chris, your favorite song, Elimination. How high pitched he was during the verses and during the elimination.
That's what he does now. Yeah, that's what
I mean. Yeah. The song's 30 years over 30 years old. It was really surprising to hear how high pitched he was.
Yeah. He that's where he doesn't do that mid-range stuff anymore. That cleaner thing. Everything he does is that gravelly high pitched thing, and that's what he does. It's where he's at. How old is he? He's got, what, 63, something like that,
That's
right?
it.
Yeah. I know he was 62 because the guy next to me kept telling me how
that's right, your new friend,
that he was 62 and he's killing it, he's bringing it.
Some big drunk guy was hitting on Craig, being like, you understand how old this guy is, how good he is? Do you know?
Yes.
Craig's like, yeah.
I was like,
he wouldn't leave you alone for like a half hour.
I'm trying to watch the band, that I've never.
We're just quietly trying to watch the gig, and Craig was getting.
And I was trying to tag out, and my no partner was coming to my aid. So, but that,
yeah. Well, we were literally in the corner. There was nowhere to even go.
But I said, Chris is nice to people, so I will do the same, and I will I'll just ride it out.
That's it. I got to be mean to people now.
Eventually he drifted away and found someone else to.
Yeah, he needed refills on his beer.
Well, you know, in most instances, when you run into someone like that, if you ignore them, they eventually go away. This guy you weren't even responding. And he kept talking and talking.
He was having his own conversation.
I looked over because I'm like, what the fuck is he talking to him about all this time? Craig's not even responding to him, and he just keeps, every like 2 seconds he'd go.
Like I was acknowledging him. That's probably the bad part. I was saying, yeah, I was just agreeing with him. I mean, I'm not going to argue with the guy, you know, but I was just saying, yeah, no, they're great, you know, but he just kept going. It was kind of funny, but also, you know, I wanted to actually watch the band.
Yeah. We had, I think we mentioned on the Hudson Valley Square show, so they have a kind of a fill-in guitar player for this tour. So you got the dude from what Machine Head is playing.
Phil Demmel,
yeah,
from Machine Head.
On his big polka dot flying
Randy
V
Rhodes,
there. Yeah. So it was good show, I thought. You know, it was good to see them again. I hadn't seen them in a number of years, but you know, anytime going to a chance to see a quality band is worthwhile.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, no, it was fun, and like I said, for me to get to you know, to see you guys and hang out with you, albeit briefly, was a lot of fun. It was a good, nice little road trip for me. So I'm glad that the weather held up and everything, and gas wasn't too bad. You know, at least a few days ago. It's worse now, but it was okay. It was a worthwhile trip, and got to see you guys and meet. Like I said, to meet Ryan, who I did a fun album homework assignment with in January, and to see Lynn. I mean, she had on what looked like animal pelts, you know, like it's like you could hand her a sword and she would have looked like
from a Conan movie or something, right?
The warrior queen from Aquilonia, you know. But and to say hi to Butch and chat with him for a few minutes. He was really nice, and so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a good night. It was good to see everybody. We saw a lot of people. I saw a lot of people I knew, so which was really cool. So there you have it, everybody. Quick little concert review of Overkill and Prong at the Chance in Poughkeepsie, New York, March 3rd last week. If you get a chance to go out and see these guys out on the road, please do so in a concert venue near you. And while you're at it, visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. Stay tuned next week. On the Monsters Den, a week from this coming Thursday, this trio will be back once again together. We're going to do a show all on the great Spanish horror legend Paul Naschy, and we're going to be picking out our 5 favorite films from him. He's done a million of them. He's known as the Spanish Lon Chaney Jr. Lots of werewolf films, zombie films, mummy films, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde films, all sorts of craziness. So we've been rewatching or watching for the first time a lot of his films, and we're going to rank our 5 favorites. So that's coming up a week from Thursday on the Monsters Den. Till then, see you real soon. For Chris Allo and Craig Kaminski, I am Pete Pardo. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.